Welcome to the Judas resurrection. If you're here, you're family. And before long, you won't be talking to me anymore. I'm here to talk about Paul, but I have to talk about myself first. I was a DJ at 90.5 FM KSJS San Jose. From the tower at Coyote Peak. Yeah. I was a DJ at 90.5 FM for from 1997 until I think 2002 or 3. But I took some time off in their places. I left home, left to go home to help my brother build his home. And so I took off on my motorcycle across these states from San Jose to Gaylord, Michigan. And the thing is, it was times like that I needed to just get away, because I did about total 3 to 4 years as a DJ there. And I finished my schooling, kept doing it for some time. The radio station, I was Tuesdays 6 to 10 drive time morning, morning show time. So they told me I could do whatever the hell I wanted, being that it was a morning show. And I got in trouble a few times, but it never bothered me. And by the end of it, when I left, I felt like I'd run out of stories. Even the things I did in the interim on sabbatical from the station, there's only so much that can come from some months. And after a year or so, you run out of stories for that. And I decided to take off. And at the time, I was Judas at the dawn of betrayal. 90.5 FM KSJS San Jose. And I left. I disappeared. It was 2003, October. I was done with my last class, working for parking lot striping for Jim Force. That's all a bunch of other stuff, but it deals with how you go through situations that would destroy others, and you're giggling the whole time. And I'd watch the airplanes outside my apartment window when I was in my bedroom flying, because I could see them from San Jose International Airport. There I used to work out there. I was a planeside rep at that very same place, and I'd watch these planes landing out my window and taking off. And it was the ones that were taken off that caught my attention. I would think, where are they going? It just started occurring to me. Where are they going? And after that last class, which was a government class, which whatever, I decided America, love it or leave it. And I said, once again in my life, I got to get out of here. But I said it more quietly and more somberly. I meant it. I always do. But sometimes it's a bit more serious. Sometimes it's a bit less frantic. And within 2 weeks, I got a call. And within 2 weeks, 10 days after that 2 weeks, I was standing in Hong Kong, Shanghai, Wochu, Shanghai, Handwola, Sergian. I've been to Hong Kong many times. That's Putonghua, which is Chinese for Mandarin, which is the English word for Putonghua. and I passed into the mainland, into the hills of Tibet, like Jesus. And then at the end of my year and a half time there, which I spent a couple trips there, but at the end of that year and a half, I was in Inner Mongolia in a yurt. And there's more to it than that. The point is, I went away and I have stories again. I don't like to tell the same stories over and over again, because the people that are listening, regular listeners, Yorn, how you doing? And Charles Bangwiner and Metal Ghost, and I go on KPC. There's a dude in Ireland. I got somebody from New Zealand did something the other day. I have friends around. I don't know what I was saying about that, but I was. I went around and I saw things, and I came back, and I've been back for some time. When I came back, my reasoning for leaving after government class was dissipated, but they fed me full of it again. And a few years ago, I decided to start my own station. It's the Judas Resurrection, because there are people that wonder what happened to Judas, because I had friends out in California, 90.5 FM KSJS, San Jose listeners, Kermit, got Gail, you got all kinds of people I don't know. Some of them I don't know. And where did he go? Well, he's back, because they say Jesus is coming back, and he's going to need a friend. So here's the Judas Resurrection. I came back to give you stories, but I want you to know this is not about that. It's just part of the whole universe card, the world card at work, which I do suggest may be part of the confirmation card that I'm watching from Paul's Dove and Serpent Tarot reading for me today, August 5th, Sagittarius. It's happening right now. The first card he pulled was this. Oh, the Fool. He pulled the Fool. And I had talked about the Fool today. And I said, well, that's not quite right, because I watch Paul and I learn from Paul. Paul is very consistent with his cards and the meanings behind them. They may alter here and there depending on their station in the 11 stages. But he's a good teacher. And when I thought about the Fool, it was outside of tarot and everything else. I was seeing something happening, and I said, the Fool? And I said, no. More like maybe the Princess of Wands. I thought the Knight of Wands first, and I said, no, because the Knight is actually going to have a direction he's going, whether the horse is out of control or not. He's going a direction. The Fool's not that way. But I thought maybe the Princess of Wands, because she's all over the place. She's just going to do it. And I thought, well, what would happen if the Princess of Wands came up for confirmation card, with the Fool being right here where I am? What would happen if the Princess of Wands and the Fool went away on a weekend getaway? What would come of that? Probably me. And I want you to know, before we move forward, that you are the most important part of the Judas resurrection. So there's that. And then Paul says, as he's holding up the Fool, he says, I get the feeling that you were voted like class clown in high school. And I'm sitting there going, No, I was never voted for anything in high school. I was quiet. I was small. I was malnourished in my livelihood. I was waiting to leave the small town of Gaylord to go out and become a man and a person of my own. I only say man because I was 17 when I left the basic training, and 2 months later, I grew 2 inches and put on 15 pounds. And then another 2 inches after that when I got to permanent party, still 17 when I got there, and put on another 10 pounds, which I've pretty much held the same thing most of my life, except when I'm working out and I get up to 180. But that's 20 pounds of dead weight I don't want to carry around. I can be just as strong without carrying a 20-pound fucking sack on my back. Watery muscle, all the young kids. So I thought about that. And I thought about how he said class clown. No, I realized when I was at 90.5 KSJS San Jose, the one year at the uh, radio station Christmas party or yearly party in the summer, they voted me, called me up, and as I'm coming up there, they say, Judas for class clown. And I was just like, oh, I don't like that much at all. And I might have looked serious as I was walking up there, but I didn't tell anybody. I didn't share that I didn't share the same great sense of joy that these people had for me being a clown. I was like, I am on the goddamn radio, and as foolish as you might think it is, I am sharing knowledge. And if I don't have the answers, that knowledge I share may fall in line with something you are doing, and you have knowledge that could have come from nowhere else that maybe nobody else has. But I was always screwing around. And like I said, I didn't like being called a clown. A jester, maybe. At least he's got some say in things. A fool, just fine. I've shown you I can just end up somewhere. That's how I ended up in the Ukrainian fucking detention at the Minister of the Border Patrol, because I just do things and I have always come out of it clean. So why stop? One day, my mother said that angel is going to fly off of my shoulders and through the windshield, but it hasn't happened yet. And I've done quite well, even just testing it, knowing that I'll be all right. I haven't failed. But so then next year at this radio station party, because we all know each other. That's how I ended up the clown, because I make jokes in radio meetings where the whole station is there every Tuesday afternoon. But the next year, I'm sitting out with just regular people like you. Maybe not you, Paul. Paul, you would probably avoid me if you saw me in public. Like, I got a bad aura. I've had that happen to me. You were dark, and now you're golden. I have an aura that possibly exhibits my true self. Unafraid. So I'm sitting out there smoking with these guys, and that's where I learned the phrase "vale vargue." It's Spanish. It may be Mexican. I think it may just be slang. So it would be Mexican, not Spanish, if they don't use it there. But the the guy, we were hanging out with this guy and his wife. We were hanging out, and guy taught me that it's a bad word. It means you're a dick or something in a really bad way. It's fighting words is what it is. And when that guy asked for my last cigarette and I couldn't do it, I said, I can't give you my last cigarette. He called me Vale Varge and was getting up, and his wife was like, no, no, and stopping him. About this time, somebody comes out and says, Judas, they're calling you. I'm like, what the fuck? Everybody's in there in the pizza party. I'm just out here being a person, learning new words that might come in handy in a foreign language. Do you need a little salt? Hi! That's Chinese for fuck your mother's stinky pussy. And I got to yell at a man right to his face. First night I was in Hong Kong, and he just shut the fuck up. It works. It's the worst thing you can say in, that's not even Mandarin, that's Cantonese. But everybody knows it. And so I'm out there learning with this guy. They say, you got to come in here. They're calling you. I'm like, okay. So I walk in the doors, and the whole place erupts in applause and cheers. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And Nick Martinez is up on the stage, and he looks at me, so, oh, man. And now I got to repeat the whole speech. And he repeated the speech. And it turned out this year, it was like the next year, maybe the year after that, but I think it was the very next year I won Best DJ at the station, which I didn't care about either. But it's much more admirable than clown. Station clown? What the fuck, man? You're not hearing a thing, are you? What is it? I realize this, and I want you to know, so far in my reading from today, August 5th, for Dove and Serpent Tarot, the only card up right now is the Fool. It's the one that represents me and where I am at. I've called for the Princess of Wands to come up as a confirmation card, and I was about to say, well, maybe the Hanged Man, because of the way that I was the clown, and I just accepted that place. I'm like, just accept it. Don't say anything to anybody. And it didn't eat me for long, but I didn't like it in the moment. And just accept it. And that's the Hanged Man. But then here comes the Fool. And I got what I wanted without asking, just by being. And it makes me think maybe another confirmation card, because if that's happening, that means the universe is at work with me. I've never been so smart to say that this is how things are happening. It's just I've been smart enough to know this is how things could happen. Just let it be. See how it goes. If there were a god I worship, one of them would be Loki. I would have multiple gods, but not many. And the other is time. Chronos. Time. Timing is everything. You've got three fucking parts of the Trinity: Father, Son, the Holy Ghost, the Holy Spirit. I believe in the Holy Spirit if you're to worship one of those, but there may be a fourth one they're leaving out, the quadrinity or whatever you might call it. Time. Timing is everything. And so if I can get to the Fool and follow through like I haven't seen any other cards in the stages, the Dove and the Serpent. But another confirmation card I might think of, if not Princess of Wands, I mean, that's just a fling. Something's going to come out of it. It could be that a second card falls out when he draws, when you, Paul, draw the confirmation card. It can happen anytime. You say it's infinite and reasonable or unreasonable, whatever it is. It changes as our time goes. And so when it comes over, that's what you get. It could be when you're shuffling, two could fall out of the deck. And the next one would be the world card or the universe, because the universe was watching me. Even though this award meant nothing really, the other one, the clown one, did. It meant something to me. It bothered me. Now you know how to get to me. But it doesn't work that way anymore, because most of you people making your comments, I'm like, ha ha ha. I enjoy it highly when you're upset with me. Don't start doing it because just to do it to make me happy, because then I won't know who the fuck is who, and I may not call you. I don't need to be getting in touch with people that are aggressively violent and hateful. I don't need to bring them into my life. I got Metal Ghost. I've got Charles Bangwire. I've got fucking Silly Yorn. I got that KPCM guy over in Ireland. Some other guy in New Zealand's calling right now talking about apartheid. I like him too. Not reached out to him. So the universe. I've traveled, creeped around this world. That's why the world card fits it too. I've been over. I have seen the North Pole by mistake. I didn't even know I was going to. I flew out of Chicago to go to China the second time, and it was faster from Chicago than, like, San Francisco would go west and around. From Chicago, it was faster to go over. I got to see the sun come right back up as it was about to set, as we were taking off, as we got further to come back up, and it was daylight. And we went over Siberia at one point. Before that, the pilot comes over the radio and he says, "If you look out your right window, you'll see the North Pole." And I said, "Wow." I said, "If we crash here, we're fucked. It's going to take people a long time to get to us." I've been around and through this world, not to Africa yet. I saved that because I'll never come back from there. And that'll be by choice. And it will be a natural death. That's a long ways out. But here now, the world is coming to me. And I want to say this to you, Paul, for being a good teacher. And I want to say this to you all. Remember, there's something for everyone to hate in this. You see something you like, next thing you know, you find out the next thing is not something you like. Well, let it go. Let it go. Be copacetic. I want you to know. The most important part of the Judas resurrection is you.